everyone. Thanks for tuning in. In our journey of life, we often wonder if one person can truly make a difference when they have nothing. Today's story explores how George Müller changed from a young thief into a man who cared for thousands of orphans through the power of faith. While we reflect on his incredible legacy, we will also learn some essential English vocabulary to help you grow in your communication skills.
George Müller was not always a good man. He was born in Germany in 1805. When he was a young boy, he was a liar and a thief. He stole tax money from his father and spent his time gambling and drinking. Even when his mother was dying, George was out at a club, wasting his life. He entered university to study religion, but he did not believe in God. He felt empty and had no peace in his soul. His life was a mess, and he even went to jail for stealing. This was the darkest period of his history. In 1825, a friend invited George to a small meeting. It was not a big church. It was just a group of people in a house. They were reading the Bible and praying quietly. For the first time, George saw a different way to live. He said his heart was touched. He decided to change his life completely. He moved to England and began to study the Bible every day. He realized that he should not depend on other people's words, but on God's promises. He made a famous rule. He would never ask people for money. He would only talk to God through prayer.
In the city of Bristol, George saw many children living on the street. They were orphans. Their parents had died from disease or hunger. George wanted to help them. He opened a house for these children, but he had no salary and no regular income. Many people thought he was crazy. They asked, "How will you buy food? How will you pay for the building?" George answered, "God will provide." One morning, the orphanage had no food. There was no milk and no bread for the children's breakfast. George gathered the children and prayed, "Father, thank you for what you will give us to eat." Just then, a baker knocked on the door. He said, "I could not sleep, so I baked bread for you." Then a milk truck broke down right in front of the house. The driver gave all the milk to the orphans. Over many years, George Müller built 5 large buildings for orphans. He cared for over 10,000 children during his life. He never sent a letter to ask for money. Every penny came from people who decided to give because they were moved by God. In his old age, George traveled across the world to tell his story. He visited 42 countries, including America, India, and China. He wanted to prove one simple fact: God is real and He answers prayer. When George died at age 92, thousands of people stood on the streets to say goodbye. He left no money for himself, but he left a great example of faith for the whole world.
There is so much to think about in that story. Now, let's highlight some key English expressions from this testimony. History: a record of past events connected with a particular person, place, or thing. His early life was a dark period of his history. Jail: a place where people are kept as a punishment for a crime. He went to jail for stealing. Rule: a statement of what may, must, or must not be done in a particular situation. He made a rule to never ask people for money. Orphan: a child whose parents are dead. He built houses for orphans. Provide: to give what is needed, to supply. He believed God would provide food. Faith: great trust or confidence in something or someone, often used in a religious context. He is known as a man of faith. Language is a gift from God, and the best way to learn is by speaking. Let's practice our shadow reading with these 3 useful sentences from the story. He decided to change his life completely. He decided to change his life completely. He decided to change his life completely. To improve her career prospects, she decided to pursue a master's degree in international relations. To improve her career prospects, she decided to pursue a master's degree in international relations. To improve her career prospects, she decided to pursue a master's degree in international relations. He made a famous rule: he would never ask people for money. He made a famous rule: he would never ask people for money. He made a famous rule: he would never ask people for money. During the economic crisis, many small businesses had to ask the government for financial support to survive. During the economic crisis, many small businesses had to ask the government for financial support to survive. During the economic crisis, many small businesses had to ask the government for financial support to survive. He cared for over 10,000 children during his life. He cared for over 10,000 children during his life. He cared for over 10,000 children during his life. As the aging population grows,
society needs more professional nurses who are trained to care for the elderly with patience. As the aging population grows, society needs more professional nurses who are trained to care for the elderly with patience. As the aging population grows, society needs more professional nurses who are trained to care for the elderly with patience. Cast all your anxiety on Him, because He cares for you.